When I was living in Florence, I discovered honey ice cream. It was the most delicious thing I'd ever had in my life. And then a few years ago when I had my tonsils out, all I could eat was ice cream, and my good friend Kim made me honey ice cream. I had told her about this. So Kim has given me this honey ice cream recipe, which I have modified slightly. So you too at home can make ice cream with a simple machine, like this Denny, which can be found on Amazon.com for $39. That's where I got mine. It's in a variety of colors. Let's have a look at the ingredients. Our wonderful honey ice cream is going to start off with 2/3 of a cup of heavy cream. Added to that, to lighten it up, is going to be 2 cups of half and half. Now this is whole milk churned with cream, and it's going to make sure that we don't churn butter. Replacing sugar, we move along to 1/3 of a cup of Greek honey, or any dark honey that you can find. This is going to add all the sweetness, and to that we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract, which will give you that wonderful ice cream taste. And then an often overlooked step is a pinch of salt. This is going to excite your taste buds, open up the receptors in your tongue, and allow the sugar from the honey to go right into your tongue, and you're going to love it. Mixing up the ingredients, really nothing special. Throw in your heavy cream, throw in your half and half, throw in your vanilla, throw in your pinch of salt. The most difficult step, of course, is getting the honey out of this container, which we will do, like thus. It's really not that interesting. Now you just kind of whisk it for a little bit. The honey is the only thing that doesn't really want to homogenize with all the ingredients. It only takes a minute or so. There we have it. After that's all mixed up, you'd be tempted to put it right into the machine, but let me tell you something. Cooling this entire mixture in the fridge for a couple of hours first will give you a much more delicate ice cream. Since it's essentially tiny crystals of ice whipped with air, the colder it is, the tinier those crystals of ice can become. I like to write the date and time on the wrap before I throw it in the fridge. You should do the same thing. All right. Our mixture is cooled. It wouldn't hurt to give it another stir depending on how long you've left it. Very simply, you pour your mixture into your freeze barrel, like so. Place the blade inside. Put the barrel on the machine. Secure the top in place and turn it on. Now we wait. Ice cream's roots can be traced all the way back to the 1st century in Italy, when the Roman Emperor Nero would send people up the mountain to harvest ice for him. Legend has it that he kept it in a cave in large quantities where I don't know how it didn't melt, but it didn't. And then he would have it on a hot summer's day served with fruit. In my personal opinion, that evolved to granita, which was a fruit ice-based treat that was somehow frozen and agitated every once in a while, sort of like a coarse Italian ice. And of course, granita evolved to Italian ice as we know it today. Ice cream is really an American delicacy. Just the name sounds like it came from iced cream, sort of like iced tea. So one thing is for sure, living in the 21st century is fantastic because we have refrigeration, which makes our ice cream definitely way better than anything that existed beforehand. And as you saw from the time-lapse footage, the ice cream actually grew in size, and that was due to our secret ingredient, air being injected into it. So now you can eat it as is, or you can transfer it and cool it further. The problem with it right now is it's not that cold. And you can't freeze it in this because that's going to create serious problems because this freezes colder than freezing. So take it out. Look at that. Oh my God. That is just gorgeous. So why don't you just go ahead and transfer it all. Look at that smooth texture. It's really quite gorgeous. This thing is so cold. So eat it now or freeze it further, like I'm gonna do. So there you have it. Honey ice cream. Mmm. It's so soft. Can you hear it? Listen. So soft. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, always remember. Then someone had the idea to blend it all together, which obviously took a lot of energy, because how do you freeze and whip so much air into a large quantity like that? It's difficult. Remember in the movie Back to the Future 3 when the Doc is stuck in 1885 and he has that huge contraption that's making all these noises and it's going da doo doo and the camera work is going all over the place, and then what comes out? A dirty ice cube at the end. That's probably not far off on how difficult it was to make anything frozen. So living in the 21st century is fantastic because refrigeration is awesome and we take it for granted.